Okay. Hi, this is Ice with 3. Currently, it is still March the 16th, 2026. I thought I was going to try to make a shorter video than I did the first one because I was rambling and I was just running to more and more information in regards to this upcoming new moon. It's going to be exactly conjunct Hillary Clinton's natal moon on March the 18th, 2026. But what I did not, I should have started off in regards to anyway, the point. Apparently, there's going to be a deposition on March the 19th, 2026, referencing Darren Indyke. And the thing about it is that these progressions, I did say that on for the date of March the 14th, 2026, that Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon, made an opposition to her natal Pluto. And also the next, well, okay, let me just say the full lore. So on March the 14th, 2026, with Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon opposed her natal Pluto. And the last time this happened was on December the 4th, 1998. And that was 15 days before Bill Clinton's impeachment. And see, on the next day, on March the 15th, 2026, transit retrograde Mercury conjoined transit Mars inside of the sky. And that should have led to explosive Epstein revelations, Prince Andrew, Virginia Frey, internet outages or whatever. But we didn't see anything like that. Now understand that these progressions, the effects of them can be felt for roughly an entire month, but they you don't really see them until like roughly the 6 days before or 6 days after the progression hits. And what I did not know, because I don't look at moon cycles that often, nor transits that often, but I was trying. The date hit, and nothing happened. I was like, "What the world? This looks like it should be a big event, and nothing happened." But then I looked and I saw that there's gonna be a new moon on the 18th of March 2026. And that's within that orb of days in regards to 6 days. And so I'm like, okay, maybe around the 18th or whatever. And I forgot there's going to be a deposition in regards to Darren Indyke on the 19th of March 2026. So, and see, in my last video, I remember that towards the end of that video. So it's like I rambled for a whole hour and God knows how long, an hour and 10 minutes, maybe, I don't know, without getting to some meat. And so that's why I said I was going to set up and just sit inside this video. And so again, on March the 19th, Darren Indyke is subpoenaed to testify in front of Congress. And weirdly enough, on the next day, on March the 20th, 2026, Transit Mercury inside the sky was stationed and go direct. And so that's interesting. Now the new moon that happens on March the 18th, it happens around like 10 o'clock p.m. So you could say that the new moon is around the same time as anyway, the Darren Indyke deposition. The point is that on the Darren Indyke deposition could lead to some dominoes falling down. Now we have not received the um the video footage or the transcript of the Richard Kahn deposition that happened on March the 11th, 2026. So, and it's what currently the 16th of March. So we'll see what comes up with that. And it's funny, James Comer. I think he didn't announce that he was gonna subpoena these additional three what should I say witnesses people until after Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, they both finally decided to agree to come in front of Congress or be held in contempt of Congress. And I believe he made this announcement on February the 9th, 2026, right? So yeah, that was my point for this video. Is that the deposition in regards to Darren Indyke could probably lead to a major revelation in regards to Epstein, because the astrology is there. Also, so let me go down the list of astrology or whatever that's going on. I've already said that on March the 14th, Hillary Clinton, her progressive made an opposition to her, because I'm going to end the video like now, because I've already did a whole hour of just all the astrology that's going on inside of going on, but I want to make a short video. Let me pause for a second. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Like one, anyway, the point. Now, on March the 10th, 2026, transit retrograde Jupiter began to station. And yeah, March 10th, transit retrograde Jupiter station. In regards to his retrograde motion. And crazy enough, on this day, I think there was news that came out that Pam Bondi, um, they said that she moved to military housing because of threats. So the attorney general was relocated from a Washington apartment to a base in the area within the past month, according to people familiar with the situation. In this article, it came out, I believe, on March the 10th, 2026. So that's what happened around the date of January 10th, 2026. Looking at the news. So moving on, because I want to make this video short, as short as possible. So again, on March the 14th, 2026, for Hillary Clinton, her progressive moon made opposition to a natal Pluto. And the last time this happened was on December the 4th, 1998, or 15 days before Bill Clinton's impeachment. So Congress could have been getting all the getting the articles of impeachment ready for his impeachment around this time. On March the 15th, 2026, transit retrograde Mercury conjoined transit Mars inside the sky, but there was no public release of any Epstein files or anything like that, or anything in relation to Prince Andrew, nor Virginia Frey, nor any internet outages as far as I know. So we'll see. Maybe something happens out of the background. Who knows? Like I said, things can happen within 6 days. You know. Now, what's coming up is going to be on March the 18th, 2026, and that's when there'll be a new moon in the sky. However, this new moon will be exactly conjunct Hillary Clinton's natal moon, and that could lead to some kind of emotional loss for Hillary Clinton. Previously, transit Saturn has conjoined Hillary Clinton's natal moon 3 times. Let me see here. Let me try to see if I can pull it up real quick. So, transit Saturn conjoined Hillary Clinton's natal moon on May the 7th, 2025. And on that day, Cash Patel in front of Congress, in front of Secretary Kennedy, I believe, he said that Epstein did in fact kill himself. And this is, I believe, under oath. So again, this is transit Saturn conjoining Hillary Clinton's natal moon. So on September 20th, 2025, a lot of other stuff has happened around. A lot of stuff happened around May 7th, 2025. But I'm just going to get to the main things that I saw. If you want to see mostly everything that happened in 2025 or whatever around these dates, just go look at my previous video that I'm gonna post probably first. But anyway, so on September 20th, 2025, transit Saturn again conjoined Hillary Clinton's natal moon, and around this day, this was the day of Charlie Kirk's funeral. And you know, there's a lot of people who claim that this funeral looked like a Nazi rally and all this other stuff, or whatever, and etc. Anyway, so that was September 20th, 2025. So on January 30th, 2026. Transit Saturn inside the sky conjoined Hillary Clinton's natal moon again, and around this time or on this day, the DOJ, they released roughly, I believe, 3 million files in regards to Epstein, which basically proved that in a lot of people's opinions that Pizzagate was real and that Epstein was reportedly or allegedly a pedophile. Also on this day, on January 30th, 2026, the FBI, they raided Fulton County in regards to the ballots or whatever. And also on this day, I believe that Melania Trump's documentary, Melania, came out on this day, which is a good documentary in my opinion. Yeah, that all happened on January 30th, 2026. I think I'm missing one more thing, but right now I'm just gonna just try to blow through this to make this as short as possible. So let's see here. So another thing to look at is transit Uranus conjoining Hillary Clinton's natal moon, and pretty much not conjoining, it's making a sextile to her natal moon, and this happened in 2025, where transit Uranus in the sky making a sextile to Hillary Clinton's natal moon. It happened on June 8th, 2025, and around this date, Bill Clinton, he released a book called The First Gentleman. But also around this date, Chuck Grassley and I believe the DOJ, they said that they found some files or whatever. They were blocked by a feature of the FBI base called Sentinel. Their software called Sentinel. I forgot now, but anyway. And right when they announced that they found the files or whatever, that's when there were a lot of protests that began to get organized, called the No Kings protest or whatever. Anyway, but also around June the 8th, 2025, I think Bill Clinton, to promote his book, he went on. He was interviewed by several. Pause. Can you more words? I can't think of the words, so I just say outlets. Like I know that Bill Clinton, he was interviewed by The View. So, I think in reference to his book and his thoughts on his thoughts. Anyway, moving on. So that happened. So on December 14th, 2025, for Hillary Clinton, transit Uranus made a sextile to her natal moon. And what happened around this day was pretty much, I believe, the Epstein Transparency Act was in effect, and the DOJ should have released several all of the files in regards to Epstein by the date of December 19th, 2025, but apparently they didn't release them all. So moving on, reportedly. So lastly, this transit in the sky is going to happen again, where transit Uranus inside the sky is going to make a sextile to Hillary Clinton's natal moon. And this is going to happen on March 26, 2026. And who knows, if we've seen what's happened before, I guess it just means it's going to be a very, very pause. Can't think of my words. A very interesting period of time. Okay, so that's that in regards to, I believe, that astrology. So looking at the transits. So I guess my point was that I'm gonna go back down. I'm gonna finish my list then in regards to the upcoming astrology or whatever. So I guess my point is that I think I was expecting like a big event to happen around the 15th or the 14th of March 2026, but it's probably still inside the works because that new moon has not hit yet, and the new moon is going to hit on the 18th of March 2026, and that's going to be exactly conjunct Hillary Clinton's natal moon. We may see something around that date or within 3 days of that new moon. And again, Darren Indyke is subpoenaed to testify on the 19th of March 2026. Moving on, so on March 20th, 2026, I think Transit Mercury was stationed and go direct. On March the 26th, 2026, Transit Uranus side of the sky will make a sextile to Hillary Clinton's natal moon. On April 8th, 2026, for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will conjoin her natal midheaven, and there could be something that could come into light in regards to her status. So moving on April 20th, 2026, Transit Mercury in the sky will conjoin Transit Mars in the sky, and that could be explosive information in regards to Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Prince Andrew, Virginia Frey, and internet outages or whatever. So let's see here. On April 26th, 2026, Transit Uranus in the sky will enter the sign of Gemini, and usually this leads to civil wars in regards to the United States, or just a war in general in regards to the United States. So the big dates where things will go down is going to be the entire month of May. But let's see. So on May 4th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon was sextile his natal nodes. And that means that it's a fated event, a very fated event. And so the last time this happened was on November 24th, 1998, or 20 days before Bill Clinton's 1998 impeachment. Okay, so on May the 16th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Venus will conjoin his progressed Mars. It's a fated angering event in regards to Bill Clinton and his social circles. So some people are going to be very, very, very angry around this time, violently angry. So let's see here. On the 21st or the 25th of May 2026, for Donald Trump, his progressed Venus will conjoin his progressed Jupiter, and it's a fated lucky event for Donald Trump and his social circles. So around this time, Bill Clinton is going to be going through hell. Him and his social circles are going to be going through hell, and Donald Trump and his social circles are going to be lucky. Let's see here. Moving on May the 27th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, His progressed Mercury was sextile his natal Mars. It's fated angering news. So he's told something, or something's put out inside the news that's angering in regards to him. And possibly his social circles too, because this entire month of May is going to just be crazy. Bad for Bill Clinton and his circles, and good for Donald Trump and his circles. Moving on, so on June the 12th, 2026, for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon was sextile her progressed Jupiter. It's a lucky event for Hillary Clinton. He gets lucky. So let's see here, on July 4th, 2026, transit Mars in the sky will join transit Uranus inside the sky. And so this tends to lead to violent events, violent attacks, terrorist attacks. And you know that day is July the 4th, 2026. Or it could be, on a more positive note, violent justice in regards to what Donald Trump does, in regards to maybe this entire Epstein situation. Moving on, so let's see here. On July 15, 2026, with Donald Trump, his progressed Venus will square his natal Venus. So there's a focus on his social circles and career. Let's see here. Moving on, so on July 20th, 2026, with Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will quincunx his natal moon. And the last time this happened was on February 9th, 1999, and this is the end of Bill Clinton's 1998/1999 impeachment. So this might be the end of the Epstein situation. However, moving on August 9th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon was sextile his progressed Uranus, and it's like a bad, shocking event for Bill Clinton. So something shocking happens for him, and it's double shocking because his progressed Uranus and his natal Uranus are conjunct right now. Now, after this, for the month of August, it's like Donald Trump has to go into survival mode for some reason. So something, August, May, the month of May, July, and August, and so on. It's going to be crazy, but yeah. So that should be it for me. Hopefully this didn't last that long. Let me pause a second to make sure I have everything. So yeah, that's it. Let's watch the Darren Indyke deposition, and we'll see where it goes from there. Bye for now.